So the 2024 Mark Matock Award winner, Tony Garbarino.
Well, Tony, here we are, end of Tech Summit 2024. It's been quite a couple of years for you. We'll talk about that. But you just won the Mark Matock Award. So before we get into how that made you feel, can you just give us a couple seconds on Mark? Tell us about Mark.
Yeah, Mark was someone who was like charismatic. He had a lot of energy. He's a passionate guy, a lover, very hardworking, genuine, and always inclusive. He really, always made sure everyone felt like they were included and cared about, understanding them as a person and just building relationships. And so, great human, really, really good guy.
Yeah, sounds like somebody else I know. How's it feel to be somebody who this organization feels embodies everything you just said about Mark?
It's an honor. It's a huge honor. I can't believe it. I mean, it means a lot too because Mark mentored me for a couple of years and he kind of showed me the ropes in this space. And for people who I've looked up to for the last 12 years in this career, to think that I embody something the traits that he has, and someone else who I look up to so much is just it's a huge honor. And I hope that I could try to live more like him and share those traits with other people and be similar to him.
Yeah, when last we were together, we were away. Your wife was pregnant. Mm-hmm. Just had a baby.
Yeah.
Tie those two things together for me. You know what I mean? Like you just had a kid and you just won this award where, your peers believe you to embody Mark Matock. What do you want your child to think about you as it relates to all of this? Like, how are you living through Mark that way? What do you want to be passed on?
Well, I mean, the traits that we talked about, right? Like being hardworking, genuine, inclusive, charismatic, all those things, and even some of the ones that are maybe like a little bit tougher, like rubbing the elbows too. I would love it if my kid could resemble some of those things that Mark, that resembled Mark, that now kind of poured into me from his mentorship. That would be a huge honor, and I think that those traits would help my baby boy and my daughter get far in life and have a successful, fulfilled life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Talk for a second about this community, the Bridgepointe community.
The culture,
just
in general.
The family and the community you live in every day.
It's weird because when I first started, there was only like there's like 7 strategists, and now you fast forward and now we're this company that has, hundreds of sellers and hundreds of employees, and somehow, even though we grew very quickly over the last 5 or 6 years, 7 years, we've still kind of been able to hold that culture. And I think a lot of that is, just like some of the things that those traits that we talked about that Mark has, and as we've scaled, I don't think we've lost those things. I think this culture is, it's a little bit of a locker room, but it's also like very family oriented. And I've just always felt comfortable and competitive. I grew up playing sports, and I feel like this is an opportunity to continue that in the professional life, which is really cool.
So you said when you were on stage earlier, you said, I challenge you to live like Mark. What does that mean, really, when you're challenging your peers? Tell me about that a little bit. What's living like Mark?
I think actually caring, having meaningful conversations with other people that aren't just about yourself, conversations that are maybe about the other person with no with no intent to get something on the back end.
Yeah.
So really just understanding where that person's at and building a relationship with them and, you know, making them feel a part of this culture, which I think is so special.
Yeah.
Not for what they can give you, but for, you know, who they are as a person and, you know, develop those types of relationships. Yeah.
I want to rephrase something you
Yeah,
said, if that's okay. Give without expectation of something in return. Is that effectively what you meant there?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not expecting, like, his intent wasn't to get something from that person. He just genuinely wanted to know where they were at and get to know them as a person.
Yeah. Hey man, we feel the same way about you. It's amazing.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, dude.
We're gonna do it. Thanks, man. Thank you. All right. Proud of you.
Thanks, man. Mark Matock gave me the privilege, me the opportunity to work under him, and he was my mentor when I started in the business. So he supported me in a number of ways, and I worked alongside him and Rick in his office, which smelled like asbestos.